Hey everybody, it's your guy D Wade, and as everyone know, I'm your finance guy. So I really want to really break this video down. It's very simple. First of all, I just want to say I'm not AI. This is actually a real video, and with that being said, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I really wanted to show how I was able to turn $900 to $2,000. And I mean, just as a thought, I believe anybody else could do it if they just have the right systems in place, um, and with a couple other various things. But I don't think it's that crazy once you figure out how to do this. You don't got to be rocket science to do this. Essentially, so what I did, obviously, I did it through the stock market, which is what you guys can see on the screen. But in this case, I did it through options. I know some people could trade regular equities, some people could trade futures and different other stuff, crypto. In this case, I used it with options. The reason why, I feel like you really don't need a lot. You like really, really, really don't need a lot. And everybody's a lot could, don't need a lot. That can mean something different for somebody. I started all the way from something with $100 before. In this case, it was just like 900 to about like 2,000. I want to show you guys this really quick. As you guys see on my screen, you guys can see right here how it says connected real-time data. This is think or swim. So I have a lot of people that probably like look at me, whether if they're beginner, intermediate, whatever. So I do like to just make sure it's very clear. This is think or swim. In this case, Charles Schwab, they bought out TD Ameritrade. So when you see that connected in real-time data, that right there tells you that this is a real account. This is a real live login. Um, I don't know what's going on. Everybody ain't gonna fully speak on that. It's just I just like to, be very authentic as possible. You see the time rolling, but when you see this connected in real time data, that means it's actually like a live account. So I was kind of going to break this down for you guys really quick. Give me a moment. So yeah, essentially, hold on from over here. Let me see if I change my computer. Yeah. So in January of here, essentially it was like $2,000 profit. Essentially, and it went from 900 to 2,000. So I want to kind of verify that for you guys as well. I just want to kind of break it down how I did it, where I believe anybody could pretty much do it if they got the right system, whether you're working 9 to 5, self-employed, retired, or getting ready to retire. If you got a computer and you know how to click a button, you just know how to follow instructions, I do think good things can happen, especially if you got the right fundamentals on how things work. So I'm not going to fully go into that video, but I am just going to just show uh, just how I was able to do it, and also, things possible for everybody else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this monitor tab. All this is really going to do is just pull up my account statement, and what the account statement is just really just going to just kind of like go back to like the dates that was there. So in this case, this was actually, I want to go right here. Let me go back to January from over here, and let me also start this right here at the beginning. Okay, great. So, should pull up. So, a lot of orders is probably going to pull up. I'm not going to fully pull that up because it's just going to be like a long list, but you guys are going to see that on the other one. But what I will want to do is this section right here. It's just like a cash sweep. And with the cash sweep, it's very simple. It's really, you're able to see how much money was in my account from when we started with those. So if I go right here and we clicked, if I start right here, I say 900, but it was really like 700, but we'll just make it 900 because it's cleaner. It's like 700 some change. So if you see as we start to go down, you can look over here. Right here is transactions going, is building up, and you guys see when I get towards the end, guys see as I start to get towards the end around here, you see it's like 2,000. I think I took a little bit of money out. And as you guys are seeing, you guys see at the end of the month, really it was like 3K, but it's fine. We're just going to say 900 to 2,000. But I mean, realistically, you guys seen it's pretty much like 7, or let's call it like 800 to 3K. So, but I think 900 to 2,000 is actually like better. Doesn't For me, just think it's for anybody. So essentially, this is just showing my account balances over here. And as I was buying and selling and stuff like that, that's what happened. So that's like a cash sweeping vehicle. I don't mind showing. I don't mind showing that. I just wanted to let you guys know this is a real account. This is authentic. I just want you to see where the stuff is actually coming from. So how did I do it? We obviously know first step. In this case, it was one through the stock market. The vehicle that we used was options. We could start at a very very, very, very low cost. And the reason why is because I feel like with options, because it's more of a percentage base, if you really like think about it, it can grow astronomically if you have the right strategy. Like literally, like you know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know. Best way I could put it is people be trying to flip their money. This is probably the place that you want to go. Yes, options is very risky and stuff like that. But I mean, any investment that you try to do or anything that you go into, it's risk. That's why you want to try to learn the fundamentals. And then when you start to learn the fundamentals and you start to get some practice, and especially if you got like a mentor with it, usually it can kind of work out for you really good, as long as they're being genuine. So how did I do it? Right here, as you can see, I actually personally feel like these were like a lot of trades as well too. But I think this is a common thing. So a lot of people kind of look like, man, you got to trade like all the time. You really don't. You know what I mean? I feel like these are too many trades, but I get it. When you first start out, you know what I mean? You probably like trading. You probably like trading like 5 days a week. Why? Because the average person is in the mindset of, when you work a job, you work 5 days a week. You know what I mean? So it's understandable. It's just meeting people where they're at. But essentially, this is how I did it. So you can see green day, red day, red day. Let's really get to the nuts and bolts of this thing. When you guys go and you can see, essentially, I had 18 wins, 14 losses. That's great. Now I'll kind of go into it. The reason why I'm giving to you is because you can jumpstart this thing, especially once you kind of get this video. Understand? I'll tell you some other stuff about that. But how do we start off? Sorry. How do we start off? Let's look at the first thing that I had. You see this? So you're going to see like this is an open date. This is a close date. That's just saying when I bought it, when I sold it. No problem. So in this case, you see I bought this around Thanksgiving, of like instead of around like Thanksgiving, obviously what the date is. And then I sold it coming into the New Year's. This is the return that was actually made over here when you start to look at the net return. I pretty much took $15 and you turned it into like $123. I feel like first of all, it was just an interesting trade. But to actually see that that's actually possible, I 8x my money. Think about that. I 8x my money. Like, that parlay that you're trying to hit, ain't finna. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna touch this type of stuff with Spirit because I don't really know that world, but I'm saying, it's practically the same thing. This actually went over 1,000%. I just wanted to let it run, and just the way that I sold it and stuff like that, it was just different. And then obviously from here, I bought this in December 5th. Where I said, hey, I'm gonna sit like $120 in there. Then it turned to $300 and something. So obviously, when people be looking for a flip, that's like, oh, that's how you flip your money. Now, obviously, this is like $15 to 120 something dollars. That's great. So that's called swing trading. Essentially, I bought something at a certain date, expecting to make the money in the future. But I said, you know what? I'm going to wait out a little bit longer. Like, some months, New Year's, did not mind that at all. So that was more swing trading. It was like, I'm going to sit my money over here and just let it just go. And I'm cool. And I'm about to say, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's no problem. I don't mind anybody seeing that. I'm pretty cool with all of that stuff. So as we start to go into some other ones right here, you can see I bought it the same day, sold the same day. Lost some money. It is what it is. Like that's the way things just go. I don't like the percentage loss that I had. So I really started to clean a lot of that stuff up and it was fine. So you see I'm doing swing trading, but then you also see I'm also day trading and stuff like that. So, so even if you're there, you find time in lunch break or you find time before you go to work, depending on where you at, and depending on where you're located geographically, um, you can kind of get something shaken. Or, you just be in work and the alert go off and then, you could buy and sell. So I don't like that percentage. That was too big of a percentage loss. I really don't like that. That's for another video where I bring that in and tell you guys. I'm not going to fully go into that. From this one, again, another day trades as I'm going, just making some money through there, seeing what happened. If you go from right here, another day trade as well. And from right over here, if you see, I did an overnight trade. Now, again, the other one that I, that did where I made the 800%. Those was like that was like a long swing trade. So it was just like, hey, I'll wait. Some people call it deep sweet trade, whatever you want to call it. I'm about to say it was just like a swing trade. This right here was more like an overnight swing. Now, the reason why this was an overnight swing is because this was the extra caveat that kind of came to this where it worked. I don't think the average person should use this unless you actually have a defined strategy. But I took advantage of what's called earnings. And when earnings come out, stocks can move really, really heavy, whether up or down. I just try to make sure I'm on the right side. Now, for the average person, it's kind of like gambling a little bit because you don't understand. But I watch this stock like all the time. So I made a pretty good educated guess. Very good educated guess. I kind of knew like what was going to kind of happen and stuff like this. But that was part of I think part of this was part of like earnings or something like that. Actually, really, um, what's his earnings? I do know I did one of these in earnings. I don't know which one. Don't quote me on it. But essentially, but also I also do like some overnight swings. So what was that? Let me explain what overnight swing is. From where I'm located, Midwest, market closes about like 3:30, 3 o'clock p.m. I sometimes, if you can see right here, I sometimes will get in like at 10 a.m. or I sometimes get in right at the end of the day, like at 2:30 or something. And the market opened back up the next day at about like 8:30. So from there, it's really me. I found the setup. I clicked the button and I just sat and just said, I'm going to wait for the next day. So if you look at the next day, where did I sell? Markets opened up at 8:30, right at 8:38. So essentially, I bought in at about like 10 a.m. Next day at 8, 68%. You got to look at it from this point of view. Look at your bank account and tell me what your interest rate is. Think about that. Made 68% on this thing. How about this? Look at your credit card interest rate and tell me what that is. I know that's higher than what your bank account is paying you. So essentially, this can print you money if you understand what you're doing. So where else can I make a return like that? I mean, right now, I don't really know. But I'm just telling you different ways how I did it. So you can also overnight swing trade. That's why I say you can work your 9 to 5. You can be self-employed. You can be retired. You can be getting ready to retire. This is a skill that if you understand how to have this, it can really help you. You're finding the setup. When you find the setup, guess what? You're clicking a button. And you're clicking a button. And from there, you sit and you wait. Now, how do you guess the direction? Blah, 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 all that other stuff like that. So you get fundamental training. That's when people learn from whatever I teach them and stuff like that. And that starts to help you to create a really good educated guess. But you saw I did a mix of long swing trades, a day trade, and I'm about to say a day trade, such as same day, I buy and sell, and then overnight trades. So I want you to see this. Maybe that day trade, yes, I'm looking at a screen. But the overnight trades and swing trades, I'm not staring. I'm not at a screen all day. I did my research the night before. I found the good setup. My phone rang as an alert for a certain price. And then I click the button and make sure I have money available. Now, what do you mean when the alert comes? Put it like when people be buying stuff on Amazon and y'all be like, let me know when this item goes on sale or when this gets in my cart. I just did that from at a certain price. I just want to buy. I click a button. And guess what? I go on about my business. Continuously do my work of what I need to do. Or if some people, you guys run a business, some people, you guys work 9 to 5. Like, you go and do your work through the day. You don't got to sit at the screen all day. It's nothing wrong if you want to study, you can, but it does not require that. So if you go down here, like this was I was playing around. I don't even like these percentages. Like these are like high percentage losses to me. But it's like, it's whatever. So these are day trades, another day trade, another day trade. You see right here again. Oh, I'm about to say overnight again. Bought on 14th. From here, 112%. Like, come on, guys. 92%. Come on. Like, cost me $100, $600. From here, you see what I mean? It don't take a lot of money. It does not take a lot of money. I know people who easily blow this. And I'm making these type of percentages on here. You can too. With the right strategy. I'm about to say from right here. I'm about to say 4%. What is these? Day trades, day trade. Okay, another swing trade. Long swings. Okay, yeah, earnings. From here, and another earnings. Was it the same day? Yeah, look at this. Here's a prime example right here. Here's a prime example right here. This one was $1,100, 109%. Prime example. If I go right here, I bought this on the 29th, right? I sold it on the 30th. This right here is military time. I bought it right at the end of the day. The market closed at 3 p.m. with me being in the Midwest. I sold in the morning at 8:35 and the market opens at 8:30. So let's think about this. This took about 17 hours from time. But in hindsight, because the market closes at 3 p.m. and it opens at 8:30, I practically made 100% in less than 10 minutes. Because the market was closed. If you look at it, the market closed at 3 o'clock. It opens at 8:30. I bought in at 2:59 and I sold at 8:35. So outside the time in between, it was like, bro, you pretty much made that in less than 10 minutes. But even if you look at it, within a day, I doubled my money. I went to sleep, woke up, I'm up, hit the button, I'm gone. So those are the various things. That's the basic thing that I can tell you how to do it. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but I do feel that this is possible for you guys. It's just basic things you need to know. But most importantly, this thing is essential. Ask yourself. Work your job, right? You got your 401k. I'm not bashing that or anything at all. You should have that. That's going to help you in the future. But ask yourself, where do they put that money? In the stock market. Something you should probably learn about. Now, the biggest thing that I'm be honest with you that I feel has really given the edge outside of understanding the fundamentals, my formula is very simple. My formula is, I believe, is you got to know what the fundamentals is, such as having a great mentor, but just understand the fundamentals of the market. But the thing that's going to give you the edge is you need to understand what your personality is when it comes towards like trading or doing anything like that. You need to understand what your personality is. When you have those two married together, you now know what to do. So one way that I'll probably tell you, I'll probably put a link up in this video. It's totally free. I'm about to say, and then after that, you should get a free gift afterwards, just to figure out how to get you going. If you want to understand this, I don't mind giving y'all some free stuff. I mean, other big stuff you got to pay for, but at the end of the day, I don't mind doing that because I believe this information should be available. So what we need to do is, if you go over here, is either a link up in this video or down, or you could just go to my Instagram Instagram or TikTok, it don't matter. Just go into the link, and when you go right here into the link, what you want to look for is you want to look for this free custom trading roadmap. But say, or you could do the trader weight assessment. Once you fill out that information, that's going to tell you everything. That's going to tell you who you are, how to trade. It's just going to tell you everything. And I believe from there, you will have a precise way of what you need to do. And then the flood, that's the beginning of the journey where I believe the floodgates will start opening. It's that simple. So I want to show you guys that. That's literally how I took 900 to 2K. Again, I believe anybody else could do it. You guys can do it. You just need to understand what to do. So, hey, won't y'all click that link, figure out how to get that, and then, yeah, let's get to it. Other than that, please share this with a friend if this was really helpful. You know, this may be something that you've been trying to do, but maybe somebody not in your corner and they don't understand. And maybe this could be the video to show them, like, this thing is actually possible. And if this was helpful, just share it, man. I appreciate it.